family. She is a yoga instructor to our middle school scholars and works with Mr. Sinclair and Mr. Krieger with Future Urban Leaders. She is married to Theo Carney, staff member over at 36th Street campus. On a side note, her amazing son is in my daughter's class. Being an involved parent of scholars is the first, second, and sixth grades. She is a regular at school productions, so much so that she performed with the staff during the 2018 holiday program. A native of the River Tribe in Wakanda, King T'Challa assigned her as ambassador of Creative Affairs in Milwaukee. Please help me welcome Jamila Carney.
Good morning, thank you. King T'Challa sends his greetings. He apologizes that he could not be here today. And it is an honor to serve in the role of ambassador of all things creative here in Milwaukee. Thank you to this MCP family for such a time as this. Shouts out to Mr. Rob, Mr. Ketterhagen, Mr. Whitman, and Mrs. Harper, all the admin staff here. And because I am part of the MCP family, I would be remiss not to shout out my homies here on staff. Mr. Sinclair, Mrs. Grice, Ms. Carter, Mr. Krieger, Mrs. Johnson, Ms. McCants, Ms. Greer, Mr. Foltz, Ms. Santiago, Ms. Lee, Mr. Askew, and Mr. Romanesco. They're my people here at MCP. And a super special shout out to Ms. Millette, parent, friend, and colleague. And last but certainly not least, my friend, the Master Gardener, Ms. Tiffany Miller. So you all did not come here to hear me shout out all of my friends. I have a word for these 8th graders and hopefully for the scholars and the parents and caregivers in the room. How many of you are Marvel Cinema Universe fans? By a round of applause, how many people? How many people saw Black Panther? How many people saw Endgame a couple weeks ago? It just came out. And probably my favorite, Infinity War. So the Marvel Cinema Universe started way back in 2008. Scholars, y'all were probably about 3 or 4 years old, so you probably don't remember. But the first movie that came out in the Marvel Cinema Universe was Iron Man, back in 2008. Over the course of the last 11 years, Marvel has made 22 movies under the Marvel Cinema Universe. We've been introduced to characters like Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Captain America, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Avengers, the Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, and my king and warrior, the Black Panther, right? Do you know that over the course of the 11 years that the Marvel Cinema Universe grossed $19 billion, $863,392,23 and counting. $19 billion. So today, my favorite movie, aside from Black Panther, is Avengers Infinity War. How many people saw Infinity War? It's a good movie, right? So, in Infinity War, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm going to give you a really brief synopsis of the movie. Thanos, the bad guy in the movie, and his army travels the universe looking to find these Infinity Stones, right? He travels even to the world of Nidavellir and forced the dwarves to create a gauntlet to harness all of these Infinity Stones. So, the dwarves were the people who actually made Thor's hammer and then made Thor's axe, also known as the Stormbreaker. As we all know, Thanos was successful in gathering these 6 stones. And in my home country of Wakanda, he uses what he's gathered to change the world. Right? So, my question to you all today, graduates, what stones will you place in your infinity gauntlets? Everybody just take a moment to think about what stones will you place in your infinity gauntlet? So, in the movie, Thanos collects 6 stones. He collects the Power Stone, then the Space Stone, then the Reality Stone, the Soul Stone, the Time Stone, and then at the very end, he snatches the Mind Stone from Vision's forehead, and he completes his collection. So, Miss Jamila, are you telling me that the key to my success is rooted in a fairy tale comic book story? All I gotta do is collect some stones and put them in a glove, and that's the end of the story? Well, yes, I am. And no, I'm not. Clearly, success does not come from collecting stones, but let's look into the power of these stones that he collected. So the Power Stone he had collected before Infinity War started. So when he collected the second stone and put it into his gauntlet, we actually see the purple Power Stone. The Power Stone represents incredible strength and power. Francis Bacon coined the phrase, knowledge is power. We've all heard that a billion times in our lives, correct? And according to the statistics, you scholars are leading the pack in incredible strength and power. You have beat all Wisconsin students in English and language arts testing and have closed the math gap by 7%. The Space Stone, the ability to create a portal to a different universe. So, the Space Stone used to be housed on Asgard, right? Any Thor movie goers here? So on Asgard, they would create these portals throughout the universe, and Thor would travel to these various places. You all also have the Space Stone. 2 words, accelerated reading, right? Every time you all open up a book to get those points, you've created a portal to a different world. Let's move on to the Reality Stone. The Reality Stone Loki had, and Loki was one of my favorite villains, right? He had that scepter, he put it on the forehead, and people would see what Loki wanted them to see. So the Reality Stone temporarily changes a person's surroundings. Although we cannot temporarily change a person's surroundings, we can change our personal outlook on our surroundings. Exercising the joy factor in every situation can turn a frown upside down, allow you to see the silver lining in the cloud, and the rainbow after the storm. You all get my drift? Maybe not. Scholars will recognize this. I will surround myself with people that will lift me higher, and I will not empower others' negativity. Sound familiar? The Soul Stone. So the Soul Stone required a life, right? So Thanos had to sacrifice a soul in order to get the Soul Stone. And so he took his daughter Gamora to the place where he was housed. And the keeper of the Soul Stone told him that he had to make this decision. And we all know in the movie that he hurls Gamora over the cliff. And then he wakes up in this water, and in his hand he has this Soul Stone. So the Soul Stone has the ability to manipulate or change the essence of a person. And in Avengers Infinity War, when Thanos fought Doctor Strange split himself into like hundreds of different pieces. And he didn't know which Doctor Strange was the real Doctor Strange. So he enacted the power of the Soul Stone to kind of pull the real Doctor Strange out to the forefront. So the Soul Stone has the ability to manipulate and change the essence of a person. We can't change the essence of people. However, we can change the essence of one person. And that one person is ourselves. So, again, I am self-determined, self-generated, self-propelled, and self-reliant. Sounds like personal change to the essence of one person to me. 2 more stones. The Time Stone. Doctor Strange had. It was the ability to manipulate time. However, Father Time is not a man that he's easily manipulated. We can't stop or start time. We can't save time. However, we can use the time that we've been given. We can be determined to use that time to build a better tomorrow for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities. Finally, the Mind Stone. Vision had the Mind Stone, and the Mind Stone was able to control the mind. And again, we can't control the actions or thoughts of others. However, whose actions and thoughts can we control?
Our own.
Our own, right. Again, I am the captain of my own ship. I am fully responsible for the choices I make. I always strive to be proactive. Scholars, do you all see where I'm going here? You've all collected these stones at MCP. Not the 6 that I mentioned, but you've also collected the trust stone, the assured reliance on character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something. You also have the respect stone, showing high regard for self, others, and property. You have the excellence stone, the quality of being superior. You have the courage stone, doing what is right in the face of difficulty. And you also have the knowledge stone, the state of understanding something which is gained through experience or association. Scholars, you've got these stones. You don't have to travel to Nidavellir and have a dwarf from a faraway planet to curate this thing to harness all of these stones that you've collected. You were born with an infinity gauntlet. It's placed right between your ears. And, excuse me, we got some technical difficulties. My phone just locked up and we're getting close to the end. There we go. So, like I said, scholars, you have this infinity gauntlet. It's right between your ears and nestled inside of your skull.
That's right.
It's the most complex organ in the body. You already house 11 infinity stones within it, and you've only completed the 8th grade. You are today almost twice as strong as Thanos. So, at the end of Avengers Infinity War, Thanos snapped his finger and changed the world. The brain has trillions of what we call synapses. Trillions of synapses, which are just electrical snaps that help the brain cells communicate to each other. One snap, trillions of synapses. One snap, trillions of synapses. You tell me who's more powerful, Thanos or you? It seems, parents, like a snap of a finger ago, we were sending them to K4, right? And a snap of a finger, they'll be 8th grade graduates. Snap your finger again, and there goes high school. Snap your finger again, off to college and beyond. And before you know it, scholars, like Thanos, you all have changed the world. So, everybody get up. This is the part of the speech where everybody gets to participate. I have to apologize to the scholars because the song that I'm getting ready to play you all probably don't recognize, but the parents are going to get with me, okay? How did Thanos change the world? He what? Snapped his finger.